Okay, we'll see if I get anybody in this one. Man, I have some newfound respect for Kevin, for sure. I don't know how he does these lives without a hitch. That's crazy. All right, let's see here. I'm going to get if that has it here. Hey, Albert, welcome back to this one. All right, let's remove this. Save. I'm actually going to turn this volume down and just move my head back a little bit. Hey, okay, I got some people back here. Hey, guys. Thank you for joining me back over here. I really appreciate that. Perfect. Okay, I turned everything down, hoping this one will be better. Again, I totally respect Kevin for these. I didn't realize how much goes involved into doing this. But all right, let me. I'm just gonna go back to square one. So I have some people here. Let me go back to square one. Let me show everybody my screen here. Okay, my template has two pieces. It has, actually, I'm going to open up my chat so I can make sure I'm not going to go down here. My template has two pieces. I have the template itself and the CSS that runs it, that styles everything, controls everything. So I want to open up my JSON file. This is going to be my template itself. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open this up in something like Visual Studio Code or a text editor, something like that. I'll do Visual Studio Code for now. And I'm going to copy everything that's in here. We're going to copy it and we are going to paste it into my header. Oh, can some of you not see me? I see some of you are here, some of you are not. Okay. So far, you guys have not missed anything. I see some of you asking, you guys have missed nothing. I'm going to grab my CSS. So I'm going to grab a Visual Studio Code, grab my CSS, all of it. Again, this is Sass. So I want to put this into a partial or a Sass file. So I'm going to use WP Code Box. I'm going to put it into a partial that I have. So I have everything set up for me. So I have my Sass and I have my template in my header. Okay. Now, one thing I want to start with is that for some reason, until we have a better solution for the template library, which I'm hoping will one day get resolved. Man. Okay. Let's see if that's better now. If Bricks ever resolves their template library to have something more like Quickly, right now I have to paste everything in, or you take up a slot that a lot of people are using for frames, right? For all of your library information. So I don't want to do that. Right now it's just going to be a JSON file you guys can copy and paste in. So with that kind of comes one little small complication. And that is when I'm importing, sometimes the logo within this header doesn't show. It won't let me change the image. I have no idea why. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and add an image. And we're just going to copy all this information over. So I'm going to go to my logo. I'm going to grab my alt text here. We're going to grab my image on my new one. Let's add it in. Let's add in my alt text. Let's go ahead and give this the same class. So what do I have here? Header _ logo. Give it the same class. Logo. Okay. What else do I need to do? I need to set the loading to eager. Let's set loading to eager and change the link to external, and we'll do our home page. So link, other, external, home page. Okay, and I'll remove this one and we'll change this one to be logo. Okay, now we are back to normal. I'm gonna check out my front end, make sure that we're good here. Okay, everything's looking good except we have a massive logo. So let's quickly try to get this to be dialed in, and I want to talk about everything that is in the back end and what it looks like. So here's all of my CSS, and this looks daunting at first. Looks like there is a ton of information here. But as we go through pretty slow, we can kind of see what's happening. We can see this is my header information. So this is just my header section, my container, and my logo. And so I can see here, I'm going to change my logo real quick. Let's just update this to be 4 rem. I don't want it to be too large. So we'll do that. Okay, that's much better now. And I want to change my text so that I can see it. Right now it's set to a black color and I can't see it. So I'm going to scroll down into my WP Code Box and we'll see here, nav items. Okay, so I'm in my nav items. I'm going to skip all this. I'll show you guys this really, really cool stuff in a second. And I'm going to scroll down to what styles do you want your links? Right now they're set to a color of black. Here's all my styling. I'm going to change this to a var of base. Let's remove this black here. We'll save. We'll go to our front end. Okay, now I can see what's going on. So this template by default is meant to use automatic CSS. I have two different versions. I have one that accepts automatic CSS and one that doesn't. And the one that does will automatically create some information for you. So it'll add in a button at the very end that is using the button action information. It doesn't use all of it, but it uses the bulk that I could pull. So it uses most of it. So it's giving me a button look here that's pulling directly from automatic CSS. One other thing that automatic CSS does is it adds some default styling to links that you guys can change. And one of them I have set is font weight. But unfortunately, this dropdown isn't a link. It's more of like a placeholder for something, for it to do something else. So I need to change this dropdown to also have the same font weight to keep it all in line. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna do the same thing within my link styles. I'm gonna change my font weight to just match what I have set on my website. The font weight of 700, okay? Now we're looking good. Everything is similar. Okay, I can kind of see what's happening now. I'm gonna go to my header and I wanna talk about this. I have created this to work with drop downs and links out of the box. Out of the box, it works with it. It gives you a drop down that works automatically on mobile, it works on desktop, and it has some content in here that are just placeholders. These are gray boxes. These are labeled remove. If you go into the content, it tells you remove these. You don't need them. They're just here to show you what happens with the content. So if I go to the front end, if I inspect this and we can go to a mobile setting, I can't see the icon. We'll have to customize it. But we'll click on this, I can see a semblance of a mobile menu appearing. And if I click on the drop down here, I can see everything's working as it should. It has everything working correctly, but the styling is off, which we'll have to adjust. But I can see how everything's gonna lay out. So it works for you right out of the box and gives you an idea. We do not want to add anything like add in a drop down and not give it all the appropriate classes that are here. So if I need another drop down, all I need to do is just duplicate it and I'll have another drop down in my header. That's how we want to do it. If we need another nav link, I'm going to duplicate and add another nav link just because everything automatically has classes that are used throughout the CSS. So I'm going to go back to my Figma file here and we're going to find out what I need to do. I need 2 links with a drop down and then 1 link at the end. So let's do that. We'll remove the second drop down here. We'll go, I need 2 links. So let's move these up. 2 links, a drop down, and then 1 more link, which will be my button. And you'll see it automatically makes the last item in your navigation a button for you. And we can turn this on and off. I want to show you, but right now let's just get this set up. So we'll have my about. We will have a YouTube for my header. And my drop down is going to be downloads. And then I have 1 more back here. This is going to be work with me. Okay. Okay, I got something that's working right now so far. I can see what's going on here. Where do I want to go next? The button. Okay, so check this out. I've created this so as you're scrolling down, we can see what's going on. Here's all the, at the very, very top, here's our header, okay? Here's the stuff that we can change our nav items. And it asks questions for you as you're scrolling. Do you want the last nav item to look like a button on desktop? So right now we can see the last item is a button and it's set to true. Over here, we'll have a selection. It tells me I can do true or false. I have it set to true, but if I change this to false, we'll click save. That no longer looks like a button. It does, oh, I see some things I gotta fix here. It's pulling in some automatic CSS functions here. So I see some things I gotta fix. This is why it's pre-release. So we'll change this back to true. I want this to be a button. Hey guys, welcome, you're coming in. And I can also set some things here. Do we want the last nav item to look like a button on mobile? So let's go down to our mobile. Let's go back inspect. We can kind of take a look here. I have it last on mobile. Do I want it to be, maybe I don't. So let's change this to false. And we'll see here, we'll have to style all this and I'll show you that. It goes back into like a standard link. So it looks like a link is along with all the others. So we can decide, do we want it to be a link or a button or not? I do want it to be a button for mine. So I'm gonna click true. And it's going to send it all the way to the bottom for mobile users to find a quick access to that button. Now I have another option as I go here. Do I want this button to be at the very bottom on the screen on mobile? I can click false. Let's type in false. Let's go to my header. We'll see here the button moves up, but it still takes the full width. So I have some options here just to quickly get things to be the way I want. I do want them to be at the bottom though. So I'm going to type in true. And we'll see here at next up, style last nav button here. I have all of the information to style the button how I want. So here's my default styling and here's my hover styling. By default for the automatic CSS, it's pulling in some information. So it's pulling in the button action information for you to try to style it the best it can automatically, but you can change this in any way you want on how you want that button to look. So for me, if you guys have watched my videos, I pull in buttons already made for myself. I don't use automatic CSS. I do my own buttons. So I'm going to turn off automatic CSS. I just wanted to show you how that works. So we're going to turn it off. I'm going to go buttons. I'm going to turn off all button styles in automatic CSS. And I have my own styles that I'm loading in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my header. Here's my last link button style. We're going to go ahead and just remove all this because I don't need it. If you guys are doing it this way, you know, for your own websites, this is how you do it. I'm going to extend a class of button action, which I call, I'm going to save this, which I style in my button style sheet. So I have a dot button action that gives me a style for all of it. I can pull all of that information into this right here, my last link style. So now if I go to my front end, we'll go here, and we're going to refresh. I now have the button that I'm looking for. This is the button that I styled. So it's going to follow a standard for my entire website. We'll even see it works on mobile. We'll go back down to drop down. Great, we have something working for mobile. Okay, let's keep going. I need to think about mobile. Right now, this is looking really good on desktop. I'm not going to worry about the drop down here. We'll keep going. I want to worry about the mobile side because when I go to mobile, it's just not, I can't see an icon. I can't see anything. So let's keep scrolling down here. I have some information about my nav items here. I can change the gap spacing. I can change the desktop drop-down icon animation. So actually, I'll show that too real quick. I can, right now there's a little hover effect or a effect when I hover over and I click it, it changes the icon. So what I can do here is go back. I have a selection I can do. I can flip or rotate. I can say right now it's on flip, but I can say I want this to rotate. I can save it. And now let's refresh. And now it should rotate. Okay, so I have a couple different options I can do for the icon there. So let's just flip it. Mobile hamburger icon size. This is what I'm looking for. What size do I want my icon to be? My mobile hamburger icon. So we're going to go down here. We're going to inspect. I can't really see it right now, so maybe I need to make that visible. So if I go down one more, mobile hamburger icon color. Let's change it here, var base. Let's save. Refresh. There we go. I got a color going. I actually like the size of this. I don't want to change it, so I'm going to leave it. I don't want to change this information here. Mobile close icon size. Let's check that out. Let's see where I'm at here. Massive, way too massive. So I'm going to change that. I want this to be, let's see, let's just do 2 rem. Let's refresh. Let's check it out. I like that size a lot more. What's cool about this is it'll automatically change the size of your back button as well on mobile. And see, this is actually too big now too. So we're going to change this as well. Let's change it to like 1.8. I hope you guys are understanding what this is here. There we go. Okay, so it even changes this back button size to match this size here. So all of it is matching. Okay, cool. We're on a way now. Mobile close icon color, black. That's fine, but I have a variable I want to use, so we'll change it to shade. Let's check it out. That should just change to a very slight different color. There we go, slight lighter gray. And now we can keep going down. Mega menu content, desktop, and mobile. So this is going to be update the desktop drop-down content style here. So anything you want the drop-down content to be styled like on desktop, we can check it out. And it just doesn't like, Bricks does not like it when you are changing aspect ratios or screen ratios and then trying to overlay it. So there we go. I can change all the styles here. If I want to change a different background color or I want to add some the box shadows, which are already applied for you, we can change all that information here. I don't need to change it. I kind of like the color white right now. We're not going to worry about it. How about drop-down content animation? I can change the animation style. Do I want it to move up? Do I want it to move down? I want it to move up. Okay, so I want it to default position. I want it to start at 40 pixels. We can see it's already kind of doing that for me. It moves up automatically, but I want it to come down just a tiny bit. So what I can say is instead of 20 pixels, when active, fades up. Okay, so when active, I want this to be 30 pixels, and we'll just change this to 50. And so now it pushed down just a little bit and we're looking better. Update mobile drop down. We're not going to worry about that yet. Let's go and keep going. I need to do some things on my mobile. If we're looking on my mobile settings here, inspect. Let's take a look here. I can't see what's going on, right? It's a white screen. Let's change it. I want to create this to be a black screen. So mobile settings here, I can see when will your navigation change to mobile? Where do you want the mobile menu to slide from? I can change left, right, top, bottom. How long do you want the slide to take? What transitions effects do you want? Mobile menu background color. Ah, there we are. That's what I want. We're going to change this to my black color. Okay, and we'll refresh. Now I have a darker color going on. Now I made a mistake. I need to change my close icon color up here. So we're going to go back up. We're going to go to my close icon color here, and we're going to change this to base. And now refresh. Now I can see my close icon color. We can see things are going on. I don't like these borders. I can change the borders. So let's go here. Let's go down to my mobile settings. Set mobile border CSS. Use none if you don't want borders. So I'm just going to change this to none. Save. Did it not load? There we go. Don't want the borders anymore, but I like how this looks. I can click on these and I have a drop down that automatically works on mobile for me. And I have a button at the bottom. Everything's looking solid. Let's check mobile, or let's check desktop. Again, you can't change screen sizes and use it. Bricks doesn't like it. But look at that. We have something working on desktop and we have something working on mobile. And we got this up pretty darn quickly. I want to real quick see if I went through a lot really fast. I just wanted to show you guys a preview of what's going on. But if you guys had any questions, let's see here. Nope, it's just you guys getting in. My goal is for this is to have an actual documentation video where I take you through maybe even a document that takes you through everything of like, where do I change this? Like I want to change that. Where do I change it? Well, all of it is, it's all in CSS and it can be daunting, but I've really done my best to make sure it is easy for you to find out what you're looking for. Like I'm looking for mobile settings. All of it is here in mobile settings. So we can even change, when does your navigation change to mobile? So we can go, let's see here. Does it work correctly? I think it changes a little bit too soon. It changes way too soon. So I want this to change at like maybe 700 pixels. So I can actually change this to 700. Okay, let's see if that worked or not. That's much better, much better. It was too early. Okay, let's see if we have any questions here. Looks easy to use. It is. It's very easy to use. Once you fully understand how everything is laid out, it's very quick. Hey, Tommy. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Welcome. Welcome. All right, let me see what else I can do. I want to, I've got, what is that? Was that 15 minutes? I've got something set up for both desktop and mobile. It's not perfect. I don't have everything ready yet, but I've got something very quickly, right? That'll work. It's not to my design yet. I have this set to my design. I have my, look at this is set to my design. I have everything working here. What about my mobile? Mobile is looking fantastic. I even have a back button for my information here. I can close everything. I actually want to change it. I want to change this to slide from to the left. So what I can do here is I can go to my mobile settings here. Let's go to my mobile settings. Where do you want the mobile menu to slide from? It's right now it's set to right. Let's change it to left. Let's save. Let's refresh. And make sure it's working. Now it's sliding in from the left. I want to change it to sliding from the top. Now it's sliding in from the top. Bottom, right? You guys get the idea. I have a selection here of things that I can quickly change to make it quick and easy for me to get something going. We'll keep it on right though. I like it on the right hand side. Yes, that was another thing. Thank you, Steven. This is accessible. Let me see if I have any questions. Looks nice. Just released one of the web briefs earlier today on self-documenting code. He's hilarious. The best self-documenting code is the self who coded it. Yeah. Usually that's the best person who can document it is the person that's coded it. Okay, Andrea, I just saw that you said, does WP Codebox and bricks work fine today? They do work. If you're using SAS, I want to quickly, if you guys are using partials, so I'm going to change topics just really quickly. If you are using partials with a global style sheet, and for some reason things are not loading correctly, I had to talk to some of the Facebook members of the WP Codebox group. You have to set it to inline if you're going to use auto reload changes. Otherwise, you're going to run into some problems where things just don't work correctly. So just keep note of that. Let's see here. Do you guys want me, the few that are here, do you want me to keep going on how you would style this drop-down content? I wanted to show you just quickly how we get something together, but I do have a design, if you're wanting to see it, how I would make this drop-down content and how I would do it for this design. Let me know. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yep, I see everybody in here. Okay, yep. Albert says yes, he wants to see how I would do it. Let's just go through it. Why not? One person is enough for me to do it. Okay, so here's how I'm going to set up my mega menu. I'm going to have two sides here. I have full access to how the drop downs work and how bricks works. So what I can do here is we'll go to the builder, and on these drop downs, we have some information here of like, how do we want these to toggle? I can change these to toggle. I'm going to say I want these to be only on hover. So we'll toggle on hover, and I can even change the content width. I can change everything to be a certain width of my header container, which it's already set for you. So you guys can see it changes the width of it to be the width of your container. But you can change all of that information right here, and it's going to work totally fine. So I want that to be, that's actually, well, that's not what I want, but I'm going to keep it for right now. I actually want this to be the size of my information. So I don't want this to be this whole size of my content. What we're going to do is I'll just, I'll change it right now. We're going to remove my CSS selector, and we're going to remove enabled. We're going to save. We're going to notice on the front end, nothing happens. I can't see the content. That's okay. We're going to have to add in some content with some width. So here's what we're going to do. Within my dropdown, within my content, I have these 3 remove. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. We don't need them. And we're going to add in our content. My content is set to a unordered list by default. I don't want it to be an unordered list because I'm going to have 2 different lists in here. So I'm going to have a list of some of my nav items, and I'm going to have a list of some other nav items here. So I don't want this whole thing to be a UL. We're going to change that. I'm just going to change this to a div. Okay. Make sure it's popping up on the front end. Okay, there we go. We're showing something on the front end here on hover, but it needs some content. So what do I need to add to this content? I need to add in, looks like 2 divs. Let's add in 2 divs, and we'll add in our content in there. Content, div. They're automatically set to left and right for you, so you don't have to worry about being left and right. You can change this under the header information. So if I go to the desktop drop-down content, I can see here flex direction is set to row automatically for me. So I can have full control over how I want this to be, but it's automatically set to row for me. So I have 2 divs that I have here. I need to add in some links. So let's add in a link, and this is going to have a icon. So let's go ahead and add a link in here, or another div. This div is going to have some text. So let's go to add in a basic text. We're going to change this to be a link. I'm going to set external URL just to go anywhere for now. And inside, what else do I need? I need an icon. Change an icon. In this icon, we will go ahead and select, let's do ion icons, and we'll change this to an arrow to the right. Okay. Here is my left content. So I'm going to name all these left content. And this is going to be my, come on, right content. This is going to be my, let's just call this my button. Here's my button link. I don't know why it's not letting me link. Why are you so hidden? I don't think I've ever seen it that hidden before. I don't know if there was a new update that's hiding everything, but oh well, we'll worry about that later. Okay, left content, right content. I want both of these to actually take up, let's see, about the same width. So let's set these to both be a width of 100%. And I actually need to, let's give these classes first. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this, let's do content mega menu content left. This will be my mega menu content right. Okay, we are going to set this to be a class of, I'm also not using advanced themer right now because I don't know, I have to get used to the workflow. I'm not used to the workflow yet. So I'm going to do just base classes. So let's, glad you guys like it. Thank you. Sorry, I was reading some of the comments real quick. Cool. Okay, sorry. All right, let's get back to this. I need this to be, this is going to be my content link. This text inside is going to be my content link text. And this will be my content link icon. Now let's kind of get something working a little bit here. Let's change this to be, this is going to be premium downloads. Premium downloads. And we're going to go ahead and set, let's add one of these. We're going to copy this. This is left content. Here's my link. We're going to copy this, add one to my right-hand side. Let's paste. Let's check my design real quick. What do I have? I have links here on the left, and then I have, looks like a heading and a divider here on the bottom. So let's add in a heading on my right-hand side. Oh, don't leave. Add in a heading. Let's put it at the very top. We'll do this content right H. Let's just do, yeah, we'll type in heading. Okay, I want this to be an H. We'll do an H2. And I want this to have the styling. Do I want to style this in here? No, let's style it all in CSS. We want to style it all in CSS. Let's change it to an H2. Okay, we'll save it. And I have a link in here. So let's start getting these laid out so we can kind of see what's happening. Let's go to the front end. Okay, looks awful because we don't have anything set up. So what do we need to do? I need to set some information here for the width itself. So let's change the width of my content to be a specific width. And we can do that here, my drop-down content. This is going to be for desktop. So desktop and mobile are going to be different. I have a mobile area here for all the mobile content. For the desktop content, let's go and set a width for it. Let's do or max width. Max width of, let's do 30 rem for now. Let's save. I'm going to get an error, but I'm going to ignore that because I'm doing some special things with my CSS. I might need to refresh. And it's not applying. Let's see here. I'm going to change this back to, go to my content. I'm going to change this back to on click so I can kind of see what's going on here. I wonder if Bricks doesn't like me putting that information in. Come on, refresh, on click. Let's take a look. Max width, 30 rem. Oh, minimum width. That's why. Yep, see guys, I get mixed up too. Minimum width. I want it to be a specific size at minimum. If it needs more space, it can. Okay, there we go. I got something that's working a little bit better. But let's do 40 rem. Perfect. Okay, now we're looking a little bit better. Not what I need. I need to style my box. And so if I go to my Figma file, I can actually take a look at the CSS real quick. Or I can go to the CSS. I have a border radius. So let's do my border radius. Let's go. I want a border radius of var radius S. I want a box shadow. I'm going to leave that. I'll leave my gapping. Do I want some padding? I do not want padding on this for my design. So I'm going to remove padding. Okay, border radius, and I want a background color. And so I think my background color, I'm going to change to a, let's do background color of var shade. Oh my gosh, trans 80. There's so many different variables that they give to us. I'm going to see if that's right. That's right. I got a transparency going on. What I need to do is I need to add a blur. So I'm literally going to look up background blur because I don't remember all the CSS that's available to me. Backdrop filter. We're going to grab that right now. WP Codebox. We're going to add a backdrop filter. I'm going to set this to something like 50 pixels. Let's see if that works. Save it. Refresh. It's adding some blur. Can barely see it, but that's okay. We're going to keep going and moving on. Doesn't like when I change ratios. Come on, bricks. Oh, doesn't like it at all. Interesting. It only does it on some areas. Yeah, I'm really glad I did a live today because I can take a look at some of the work that needs to be done to this still. So like when you set it to a minimum width, we have to decide how we want this to sit on the actual link itself. So I'm going to check bricks real quick. I'm going to see if bricks allows me to do that. Drop down content, transform on open. Do they not allow me to set where it's going to be? Did they just decide for me? Yikes. I don't know if anybody has worked with this any more than I have. I haven't really worked with the bricks builder. I don't know if they allow you to set the left and right content here. Transition, transform on open, translate X. If I do 0 on X, what happens? Header, transform. Ooh, I am stuck on that one. I don't know how they're handling that. Man. But it works there. Are you serious? If I go further, it works fine. What? I swear, the mega menu is the biggest headache I've ever had when building something because there's so much to it. Transform Y. You should be, it's pulling to the right. It's showing it's on the right-hand side. Why are you not? All right. I don't know. I'm going to have to dig into that one on how they decide to do that. I'm going to go mega menu. We're going to change this to my header content until I have an answer to that. See if I was going to see if anybody had any further experience with that. See, now that's not even, are you serious, Bricks? Well, now I'm a little embarrassed. Why are things not working the way it should? Does it not allow for a minimum width? Did I mess up the dot header content? Oh, that's why. I'm dumb. Header container. See, you have to choose the right CSS selector. I want to select my container of my, there we go, of my element or of my my header here. So now we're working. Now we have something working. Okay. I want to add in a border. So I'm going to do a border, 1 pixel solid, and I'm going to do a var shade of, let's do 300. So I have a custom color that I want to use. Okay. That's a little bit too much. Let's do 500 or 400. Looking better, still too much. Let's do 5. Different shades. There we go. That's looking a lot better now. Now I want to get something set up here. I want these to be equal widths so I can see what's going on. And what I can do here is, because this is going to be set on my desktop and a little bit differently on my mobile, you need to set the X and Y, I think. It says to bias, if I remember correctly. I'm going to try real quick. X and Y. So if I set, let me go back to the header. Let me change this off. I already have Y set up. So if I change on open, I want my X, let me just change it to 5 pixels. Let me see if that fixes it. And I have a minimum width set up. Refresh. And it's setting it to okay, where is my content here? Here's my content. And I want to transform this X to 5 pixels here. Oh man, it doesn't even allow you to like to choose which edge you want it on. Negative, translate X, negative, not 100%. Ooh, I think I'm on a CSS problem I don't know how to solve here. Because it's going to do it from the left-hand side. So X, let's close that down. 0 pixels is not going to work. That's on the left-hand side. On open, 0 pixels to the left. I don't know. You can style it in the developer tools and copy paste over the final CSS over to WP Codebox to avoid the round trip and have to some live styling. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to just style it over there. Well, man, I was hoping this was going to go a little bit smoother. I'm going to have to figure that out. So if you guys want it to be on, you know, a custom size, how can you automatically set it to a certain position very quickly? I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that one out. That's going to take me a second. I'm going to have to do it later. I'm just going to go back to what I was doing before. Header. Header container. There we go. We're going to save. There's no minimum width anymore. I should have minimum width on it. Nope, no minimum width. 40 rem. Save, update. Sorry guys, you guys are seeing me troubleshoot live because I really want that to work. I want to use your guys' suggestions. Is that literally it? Are you serious? It's because I need a minimum width? Really? But I have no, because I have it open, and then it goes back. I don't understand. If I go down to lower breakpoints, now it goes to the right. I don't know. That's going to drive me nuts. Mega menu content. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to remove the minimum width because that's not working. We're going to save. We're going to refresh. Okay, I got something going on. All right, let's keep going. What do I need to do? I need to set these to be a 100% width so they can both be equal widths to each other because it's automatically set to flex. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to find inside my drop-down content, I can actually target my content left and my content right. And we're going to set these to be a width of 100%. Okay, so now I have something that's equal width here. If I check out my design, I'm noticing two things. This is going to have a different background color. So my right-hand side is going to have a background of shade. So let's go ahead and apply that real quick. I want my content right to have a background color of var base. Okay, we have something going on there, except the content inside of it you can't see, so we need to change all of the content in there to black. So let me just try changing the color to, let's do var base, my black color. And let's see if that updates. Or if I have to be more specific. I will probably have to be more specific. So we're going to target my heading and my buttons. So let's target my inside here. I want to change my dot mm content heading. We'll change this to a color of var base, shade. And I want to make sure that I'm targeting that correctly. We're going to inspect here. content right heading. So it's my right hand side. So what I could do is I could just do, I want to do an and heading. So find my heading in there, give it a color shade. I also want it to find the links inside. So here's my links inside. content link. So let's find those. And I also want to change these to my color shade. Let's see what's going on here. Let's refresh. Did it not save? There we go. Okay, we got something working. However, this wants to take on my var base. So we're going to change that to, ooh, it's more direct. We're going to do color var shade. content link A. Let's target my link color there. We'll refresh. Now I have a button going there. Okay. I also want to change my icon color to be the same. I want that to be black. So we're going to find my eye inside. So we'll do, I can even add it here. We can do dots content link eye, change that to a color of shade. Oh, it did not like my, that's why. Boop. Oh, this is an A. That's a link. Now we're back to where we should be. Okay. Now we're back to where I can see what's going on here better. I need to add in some padding. And if I see this correctly, I have padding on both of these. And they're both relatively the same, except one doesn't have padding because there's a gap here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add in some padding to my right-hand side, but I'm not going to add it to my left. We're going to go here. I'm going to go to my content left and right. They both are inheriting the same styles. So I want to do my right-hand side is going to have some padding. And we'll do some padding of var space M for now. And I'm going to set the content left to have a padding. I think it's top var space M. Top right, I want 0. Bottom, I want var space M. And left, I want var space M. We're going to save. We'll check it out, see what's going on, make sure that our updates are working on. Okay, things are starting to pan out a little bit better. I want these links to kind of appear in line right now that nothing is appearing as they should. So let's target, and here's where we have to define, I don't want these to be only on my drop-down content when I'm in the desktop view. So right now I'm in the desktop drop-down content view. I don't want that to be there. I want it to be a global setting. I want these to appear anywhere. So I can scroll down here into my settings and I have some custom CSS. And in here I have global mega menu styling. So I have some different things set up for you guys. I have like the global menu styling, specifically not mobile menu. So when you're specifically not on a mobile menu, I have it at a certain breakpoint, some CSS. And I also have mega menu styling on mobile menu. So you can kind of decide here, where do I want this to be? Well, I want these links to work both on desktop and mobile. So I can do the mobile styling here. So I'm going to find my links, and I believe these were Let's find my name here. I wanted to create those little sections for you because Bricks has a lot of conditions on where you should put everything. I wanted to have that easy for you to find. So we're going to find my link here. So here's my link, content link. We're going to style that. And I want this to be display flex. And I want this to be a flex direction of row. And I want to be a align items center. And I want to justify content space between. So they should push all the way to left and right of each other, but they should be aligned center. Perfect. Okay, we have something that's working a little bit better. Now, our buttons are not, our link colors are not actually working the same as our button links are working here. So let's define those. I want, this is working correctly, almost. We need to also set the link to work on the entire wrapper. Right now, the link is only applying to my text itself. So what I need to do is I need to apply this to the whole link, the whole content. We'll see content here, here's my link. And we know we can do this with, oh my gosh, what's the class? ACSS gives it to us, clickable parent. So I could go back in here, I could go to the header, and I could give all of these a class of clickable parent, but I don't really want to do that. I have a better idea of something I want to use, and you guys can actually pull this for yourselves. I can post this link in here, clickable parent. If you guys want to, here, I'll put this in the chat for anybody that wants to see this. That is a code for a clickable parent mix-in for Sass. And so I can copy this to clipboard. And I'm going to put this just at the very, very top because I'm going to use this only in my header here. I can always change it later if I want it to be somewhere else. We're going to paste in this mix-in. This is a little bit more advanced. Parse error failed. Oh, whoops. You don't want all of this comment here. Okay, now save. Now we're looking good. Okay, has it pulled in some stuff from the snippet itself, some documentation. WP code box. All right, this clickable parent thing is so cool. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down to my item that I wanted. So we're going to go to my custom CSS area. Here's my link. I'm going to do @include, and we're going to do clickable parent. It's going to show me there. Now it's going to ask me, what element do you want to target? What element is your link? So I'm going to say, I want to do my quotations, and I want to target my link inside of it, which is going to be my .mm content link text. We're going to save. And what this will do is when it should work, I'm going to make sure that it's not working. If it's not working. Did I do something wrong there? Is something not parsing correctly? mm content link, .mm content link text, include, clickable parent, save. Oh, I wonder if this is one of those parsing issues with the globals. There we go. Okay. No, something broke. What? Let's remove. And, oh, that's why. Because there's some, there's some extra documentation I got to remove. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now let's check it. It was wigging out there. Now it's working. Okay. We'll see now the entire area is clickable. So when you guys use this mix-in, when it don't have all of the extra comment stuff in there, it makes the clickable parent much, much faster to implement, where you don't have to add classes to things. And then it just creates a lot of extra work. I kind of wish ACSS would add this automatically. I don't know if anybody from the ACSS team is here, but that would be amazing if you guys can add that in automatically, so I can just call it. Anyways, let's continue. I need to change these to inherit the same styles. So on my left-hand side, I need these to be a color of white, even the icon itself. So I'm going to change, we'll go here. Let's go. This is only going to be on my desktop version. So on my content left, I want to target those links. And I have my icon here, color shade. Here's my right, here's my left. Let's target my content link. And this is going to be let's target my A, and actually let's wrap that. Let's target my A, and let's target my icon, and let's change those both to be a color. Come on, go away. Let's change both of these to be a color of base, my white. We're going to refresh. It didn't like it. Why is that? Always troubleshooting all the time. Did I do that right? Doesn't like my extend. I don't really care about that. Everything's closed here. In my content link, target my A and target my I and give them a color of var base. Not seeing that loading over here. Save. Let's check my global. Let's save again. Let's refresh. Oh, see, it was. Yeah, so Andre, I don't know if you're still here. He mentioned he's having some problems with it. I'm still having problems with it. I'm going to actually turn off my global auto reload changes, and I'm going to see if that fixes it. It doesn't seem to like partials. Okay. So you aren't the only one that's having some problems there. Okay, now I can see that. Now I can see that. Icons are massive. And now I need to set icons globally. I don't want those to be individual of the content itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down to my global here, global CSS styling. I want to target inside my content link. We're going to target my I, and we're going to change this to a font size of, I think I could change 1M, and that should, ooh, way too small. Let's do 1.4. Let's see if that works. Better, still too small. 1.8. Save. Much, much better. Okay, and we can see we're setting it globally because I've decided not to set it on the left or right side, but on a global element. Okay, so now our buttons are working a little bit better. There are some animate or hover colors here. I actually don't want it to animate on hover or actually change color. So I believe I can do, I might be wrong. If I target my A and I say at on hover, I can do a color of inherit. I might be wrong here. Yep. Reload one more time. Yeah, I'm wrong there. Okay, you can't do that. What we're going to do is we're going to set them individually. Because right now it's inheriting a global style from ACSS. And sometimes when we do ACSS, we have to kind of reset things. So I want to set some styling for my right-hand side. I want these. So here's my MM content right. Here are my links. Laser targeting everything. I actually only want to target my MM content link A and my MM content link I. No, just my A. I apologize. Just my A. We're going to change these to be a on hover. So on hover of my A, not hoover, on hover, change my color to be a var base. And you can see here, guys, as you're creating your own custom stuff, it's going to be a lot of different work that's included. The template is to get you started, to get you on your way to where you need to go. But it is going to require quite a bit of information after that, if you what you want to build for your content itself. So why are we not working here? On my content right, content link, target my A, on hover. This one should actually be on shade. That might be why that was happening. Okay, so my content right on the right-hand side, there we go. There's no changes here. We don't want to change the link color. On my content left, so do I have a left here? I do. Here's my link A. So we'll just target my A by itself, not A and I. So not my anchor or my icon. And we'll say I want this to be a color of var base. Okay. Now we'll see here. No. MM content link. Oh, hover. Duh. On hover. Set it to be base. There we go. Okay, these aren't changing, but they are links. That's exactly what I'm wanting for being set up here. All right, what else do I need to change here? I do want to change the border radius. So I'm going to go to my content here. Let's go to my content. And here's my drop to update mobile menu content, desktop and mobile. Update desktop drop-down content style here. Here's my border radius. Let's change this to M. Let's dial that in. And then let's see, what else do I want? That's a little bit better. This is looking good. I do need a border on the bottom of this. So let's set, I also want to change the font size of this. It's way too big. So we're going to go in my content right. And we don't want to set this on just the desktop. I want this to be global because I want it to be on mobile. Let's actually see what's going on mobile right now. Inspect. I'm already on inspect. We'll go down a size. Check it out on mobile. Okay, there's my mobile. Everything's looking good here. What happens when I go here? Okay, I do have a border set up here on my content. I don't want a border on mobile. So let's go ahead and change that so that on mobile, let's go down, content. Here's my drop down content. On mobile, I want to go ahead and do a border of none. So let's take out the border. Let's refresh. So on mobile, on my drop down content, let's remove that border. I don't want them. Okay, so we've done that. Let's see what else needs to happen. Let's add in some of our links to see how we can get that working a little bit better. So let's just duplicate. Let's go to my header, and here's my button. Duplicate, duplicate. I have probably 4 in here. Let's do 4 on this side, and let's do on this side over here, let's add in 2. Okay, and let's check on the front end. It's gonna look terrible right now, right here. Let's refresh. Downloads. Okay, looking better. It needs some spacing between both of these items here. Oh, and also I didn't think about this is that these need to be set to unordered lists. So I can set my left-hand side. Let's set this to an unordered list. And I want to change this to a list none. Thank you, ACSS. Change it to a list none. I also want these 2 items to be in a list, but I do not want my heading to be in a list. Oh, and before I do that, these buttons, I want these to be LI elements. So I'll change these to LI. 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 And LI. Okay. These over here are probably going to need a wrapper to make them in a UL itself. So let's go ahead and wrap these in a div. Wrap in a div. And let's set this to a UL. And let's set this button inside. Change this one to an LI. And this one to an LI. And I need to add to this UL, I need to add a class of list none. Okay, now we should be in a better spot. Let's look here. Okay, now we're looking better. I do want to add in some spacing here. And so I could target inside of my drop-down content area because both of these are ULs, and this is going to depend on use case. But because of inside my content area, I only have 2 ULs. I have this UL and this UL. I'm going to set some gapping on these. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on. Do I want this to be just desktop? No, I want this to be global. So I want to set this down not in mobile. I could do both desktop and mobile here, but I'm going to go down to my global styling, and I'm going to say inside of my MM, and here's how we can find it. I want to see how can I target these. Let's find out what class this is giving this. Here's my div, MM dropdown content. So let's target my dropdown content. And inside my dropdown content, I want to target any ULs that are inside of it. And I have 2 ULs. So I want to set these to a display of flex. And I want to set these to a flex direction of column. And then I want to set a gap. We'll do gap. And I want to set these to a var space M. And let's see if that made that change. Here's my UL. Did it not refresh? Yeah, see, WP code box. Do I need to refresh my global again? Unless I'm targeting something wrong. Which it looks like I'm targeting something wrong. WP code box. Header. Okay. Inside my MM, target my MM content, drop down content, then target my UL inside. Oh, there it is. My variable gap. There we go. Way too big. We're going to do a variable of space S. And we're going to check that now. Much better. I like the spacing a little bit more. I might even go extra small. Just to make sure. That's nicer. Everything's looking nicer there. My heading, massive. Let's change it. This needs to be on mobile. I got to think about, do I want this to be on my desktop or mobile? I want this to be on both. So I want to change inside my drop-down content, or I could do inside my mega menu. It could be either one. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to target my header itself in here. So this is going to be my content right heading. We're going to grab it. We're going to target that. And I want this to be a, not text size, font size of var. I believe I can do H headings with var like H4. Let's say I want it to be the size of a specific heading. I can. That's what I want. So I want to do an H3. It's an H2, but I want it to be the size of an H3. Better. Can I add borders at the bottom of a heading? So let's do border bottom. We're going to do 1 pixel solid. We're going to do my var of shade. I believe I did 500 for my border. I'm kind of winging it here just to kind of see if I can do it. And I don't believe I can. I'm not able to. Can I do it to the top of my UL instead? Gonna ignore that. Can you not add headings? Can you add borders to the headings? Save the global after saving the partial. Yeah, that's the problem that's happening. And just sometimes you have to, sometimes you. I'm just gonna check here. Maybe I'm targeting it wrong. Border, bottom, 1 pixel, solid, black. You can. So what am I doing wrong here? Border bottom, 1 pixel solid, var shade 500. Can I just do shade and see if that fixes it? Let's close that. Let's close that. Now it's the WP code box problem. Save it. I'm gonna go back to global. I'm gonna click save again. I kind of missed when it wasn't doing that. I'm gonna set a margin bottom of, let's just set something like 1em. Not margin bottom, dumb, padding bottom. Way too large. Let's do something like 0.4em. That's better. And let's add in some gapping. Now here's one thing I might need to think about is that I want equal spacing probably between this item and this item here. So I'm going to gap out on my content right. I have an H2 and I have a UL. I want to gap these two items here. So I'm going to go to on my global, let's do global, okay? On my global, I want to change my .mm content right to be a gap of var space m. Oh, again, do I need to save here and save here? Probably. It is not a flex item. That would probably help. WP code box, header, display, flex direction, call. Update, please work. Okay, we have some spacing there, and I'm okay with the spacing that it's giving me. So let's go ahead and go back into the header. I'm going to change this to my, let's check out my latest downloads. Let's change it to that. Will that let me grab the text? Let's find out. Latest downloads. I don't really care about the text here. I just want to get it working correctly or looking the way it should. Okay, I think this is looking much better than it was. Now let's check mobile. Do we need to alter anything on mobile? So we're going to go down to mobile. Let's close it. Down to mobile, downloads. And I have it looking like this. Do I like that? I want to remove the padding that I have around it on mobile. because right now I have a padding set right now on desktop, and it's kind of coming over to mobile. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back here. Here's my left content left. I have a padding. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on mobile, find my content left, and we're going to set this to a padding of, can I just do none? I think I can do none. I'm going to save both to be safe, not disable. I'm going to save both. Okay, we're going to save it, and we're going to refresh. Okay, that's where I can't tell. Padding, it has to be 0 pixels. It can't be none. 0 pixels. I never really know where I can use none. Okay, that's looking better. And I have latest downloads in its own box. Do I like that, or do I want to pull these out? And so we can make changes depending on what we want. Do I want it to look like everything else? Do I want to move this up on mobile? Do I want this to be at the very top? Maybe once, yeah, you know what? Let's move it to the very top. On mobile, let's take my content right, and let's set this to be a order of -1. We'll save. Let's see what happens. I might not like it. It's not bad, but it seems like it's working correctly. I don't know. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I think we're closer. I think I'm going to take it back though. No, I don't think I like it at the bottom. Let's go back to mobile, and things are working as they should. I think it's fine. I'm going to leave it. I think it's okay. But you guys, I'm going to call that. I'm going to say we styled everything that it needs to be. However, the only one problem, and yes, if you change aspect ratios, Bricks doesn't like it. Again, only one problem I have to resolve is how in the world can you say, I want it to be a specific size, and then decide where you want that to exist in comparison to its parent. So I got to figure that one out, and how I'm going to make it easy for you guys. But yeah, we have something that is relative to what I've created, right? Not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. I'm actually going to change one little thing. It's just going to bother me. My content here, I have a border filter. Or a backdrop filter. I'm going to change that to like 20 pixels, so it's not as large. So it just does a little bit less filtering. And we're going to change this to a trans of like 40. So the background is not as dark, but the blur should kind of kick in. There we go. Am I contrast? We're going to check accessibility. Is my contrast okay? AAA, we're good. We're solid. Let's check on mobile again. Make sure nothing is broken here. Everything's looking solid. Awesome. So we have a mobile menu set up very, very quickly. And what's cool about this is you guys don't have to make this complicated with this template. You could literally get rid of the mega menu element and just use this for the links itself. So we could it'll have a bunch of extra CSS added if you guys don't mind unused CSS, but it could just be the links itself, and it gives you a template to customize for the mobile device. So I could just say, you know what? I really don't need this mobile. This is a really small site. I really don't need a drop down. I'm going to copy this because I don't want to lose it. So let's copy. I'm going to remove, and I'm going to save, and we'll refresh. Okay, I don't have any mega menu content, but it's going to work automatically for my mobile uses. So if I have any extra drop downs here, I can add in some the border here automatically. If I wanted to, I can change where the button layout is. I could even change this. I do want this to be centered on mobile. So I'm going to do that really quickly. So I'm going to find my, let's see here. I think it's actually already set. It might just be overridden by something. It's text align center. Text align center. Why aren't you working as text align center? Sometimes I hate CSS. Sometimes I just want to like quit coding. I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but sometimes I just want to do that, you know? Text align. What in the world? It should be centered. How is it being computed? S, text align center. Huh? Flex. Is it because it's set to a flex item? That might be why. But where is it getting center from? Oh, bricks. Are you changing this to like inline flex? Are you doing something weird? Because I don't have it. What is setting this to flex? Is it this right here, setting it to inline flex, and then I need to like justify it to center? So I'm literally going to go to my button style here. My last, where are we at here? I even get lost sometimes here. Okay, let's go back to the very, very top. Here's my header. Here's my nav items. Here is style the last nav item button here. What if I just did align items center here? I really don't like this. I don't like that I might have to do it this way. No, that's not it. Oh, is it justify? Am I doing the wrong one? Justify content center. That was it. Weird that it's doing that. It was making it that. It's making all my links inline flex. But now I have a center button, which is what I wanted personally for my design. So anyways, let me add back in this. I want to get to some of the chat real quick and talk with you guys. I seriously appreciate you guys kind of sticking through all the little bumps we ran into. I'm glad I could showcase just what I've got, going on with this. There we go. I got it working. Let's check on mobile one more time. And I got something working here. Awesome. Okay. And it's fully accessible. That's the amazing part here. Great. Awesome. We got something going. All right. I am like out of breath. I need some water. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions? Does this, the content itself is a ton of work. Adding content to a mega menu does take a lot of forethought. And with proper training, I've had a couple of people already use this and implement them on their sites. I think this guy, he implemented it himself, and he does not know very much of CSS. He knows a little bit. He's learning, and I was helping him with some of the troubleshooting here. So let's go. Does not know. He knows a little bit, but he's in the learning phase, and he was able to get a mega menu up pretty darn quickly, and something that works on mobile devices as well. So we have some content here for all of the mega menu content. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Is this something that you guys find interesting? Do you think it might be more work than it's worth? I honestly want your guys' opinion. It helps me a lot. The few people that are here, it helps me understand if I'm moving in the right direction with this. So bottom looks better. It's helpful seeing you work through a concept. Awesome. I'm glad you like seeing me work through things. Sometimes it takes me a long time to figure those things out. So I'm going to turn back on my camera here. I think my camera went out. It's overheated or something like that. So we'll see if that goes back online. Let's go back to my, where are we at here? There we go. Albert says, I'm going to give it a try in a few days. I would like to sync the paddings on the mobile mega menu. So paddings, I'm not quite sure what you mean by paddings on mobile mega menu. Oh, you mean like paddings of the content? I think that's what you mean. We have a different couple of methods of this. So on the mega menu element here, on the mobile, what we can do is we can actually change the left and right styling here. So if I go to my mobile settings, here's my mobile settings. I have a mobile padding area that sets the padding for everything. So let me go back here. Sets padding for literally everything with 2 switches. Like, what do you want your left and right to be? So all of your content stays within a specific padding. Everything looks aligned. And it also spaces out, if you do top and bottom, spaces out everything here as well. So everything looks evenly spaced in proportion. So I could go here to my WP code box, and I have mobile padding V. So vertical spacing to be used throughout the design. I have horizontal spacing to be used throughout the design. And you can change these horizontal and vertical. And it'll change everything about your, oh, did I close the other one? I did. Let's refresh because it's missing out the drop down. It'll change everything about your padding on your mobile menu. So that's it. I hope you guys actually thought this was interesting. I hope you guys thought it was cool. Definitely learned a few things I have to work on and update. But that's just a preview of what I've got cooking. I've spent a ton of time on this. Probably far too much time. The mega menu is very, very complex in order to do what you need for special use cases. And so I wanted to try to make it as usable for everybody else as possible. But that's what I got going on. That's my project right now. I'm building out my website, which hopefully should come soon. And I'll have some templates on there with actual instructions, a proper video on how to use this and how to get quickly up and running with a mega menu. So anyways, thank you guys for joining. I don't know if I'm going to leave. I'm going to hold off to see if anybody has anything else to say. I think I've been on this for far too long. I do need to get off. I need to get to my kids, to my family, and start cooking some dinner. But I really appreciate you guys joining. Thank you. It's been a huge help just to see you guys here. I know it's encouraging. But I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully very, very soon. I want to do some more live trainings about my website if I can. Having 2 kids and a third one on the way has been a little bit difficult to do these live trainings, but I want to stream me build, just literally me building and taking questions. I don't know if you guys saw, I want to go on a tangent real quick with the few people that are here. I'm working on SureCart and implementing SureCart into my website. It is a pain because there's some things you can't do, but I think I found a solution. So I'm going to really try to, on my next stream, if I can do one, show you guys how I'm going to implement SureCart into my website and also do, let me show you my Figma file, do custom product pages. So let me find it here. An entire custom product page with information about the template or your product. You can create, features, FAQs. You can do a whole bunch of other stuff. Like how can you build that out when SureCart doesn't give you that information to build with? So I want to show you guys what I found. We'll see. I'm going to try to get that planned within the next couple of days, but I will make sure you guys have notification for that. Anyways, thank you guys very, very much for joining me. It's been such a pleasure to have you guys here, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Bye.